Hey friends, my name is Kiana, and today I wanted to talk about my skin routine on Tretinoin. Back in 2020, I was desperate for clear skin, so I followed YouTube tutorials, and unfortunately, I ended up giving myself the opposite effect. It was so bad to the point where I knew I had to schedule myself an appointment with a dermatologist. I went, she looked at my skin, and she just prescribed me Tretinoin. And although my skin is far from perfect, it's definitely giving what it's supposed to give. So let me give you a rundown on my very simple routine on Tretinoin. Before we begin, I do want to point out that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional, I'm not a dermatologist. I'm just a person online sharing their experience with Tretinoin and my skin routine. But anyway, let's get into it. Tretinoin is very powerful. It comes with a lot of instructions, a lot of side effects, so I decided to keep my skin routine very simple to avoid further irritating my skin. So the first thing I swear by is a gentle skin cleanser that is fragrance free. Now, I'm a girly that loves off-brand stuff because the on-brand stuff is a little too expensive for my taste, so I go with the Meyer brand, but you can go with Cetaphil, CeraVe, CeraVe, whatever makes you comfortable. When I first started using Tretinoin in 2020, one of the first things I was told is that I had to be very careful when it comes to exfoliating. So just recently, I added the silicone scrubber. It's very gentle. I try not to be too rough with it, but I needed to add some type of exfoliation. So here I am, wetting my face, getting all prepped and primed, of course, with clean hands. Everything that I do when I touch my face and I do my skin routine, all clean. And I'm just adding my little off-brand Cetaphil to my little scrubber. So of course I added way too much to the scrubber, so I'm trying to dab around, spread it so I'm not spilling much product, and then I just start going at it, start scrubbing my skin very gently. Now I like to focus on my problem areas, which tend to be my cheeks, so you will see me going at my cheeks, and also my nose, which tends to get clogged a lot as well. While scrubbing gently, I also like to take my time with scrubbing. I remember back in 2020, one of the things that I kept around was scrubbing for at least a minute or washing my face for at least a minute, but I'm still keeping it very, very gentle. Typically, I don't like splashing my face with water because I tend to make a huge mess, so I took a nice little washcloth and gently wiped away the product. Then I like to grab my Cetaphil moisturizing cream, which is also fragrance free. And I like to get a lot of product, especially with it being winter. And I just rub it in, slap it all over my face. Tretinoin can also be a little drying, so I like to make sure that my skin stays moisturized. After moisturizing, I don't put the Tretinoin on immediately. I give it 10 minutes, let the moisturization soak in before I start putting on the Tretinoin. And here she is in all of her glory. I'm having a hard time autofocusing, ignore that. But there it is. I believe I do have a generic version, but it's all the same. Then I add a very small pea-sized amount. I dab it on my face with little dots before I rub it in. Using a pea-sized amount is very important because number one, you don't need a lot of Tretinoin in order to see results, and number two, it helps the product last a lot longer. I don't know about y'all, but when I go get my prescription, the Tret is at least $100 just for one tube. So the Tret for me, it lasts at least 4 or 5 months. And if I'm going out anywhere during the day, I just add my Cetaphil sunscreen, 50 SPF. The only problem with this sunscreen is that it leaves a terrible white cast, so I won't be using this in the future, but sunscreen is sunscreen at the end of the day. And that would be the end of my super simple skin routine. Like I said in the beginning, I keep it super simple just to avoid any irritation. But I hope you enjoyed my super simple skin routine on Tretinoin. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!